Court is now in session. The Honorable Stevens now presiding.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Calling the case of the people of the county of Yoknapatawpha versus Grierson. Are both sides ready?
Ready for the people, Your Honor.
Ready for the defense, Your Honor. Will the prosecution attorney please state his name for the record?
Good morning. Good morning to the people of Jefferson. I'm the people's representative, Attorney Christian White. Rest assured that I would, in the best of my abilities, to defend my side.
Thank you, Mr. White. Will the defense attorney please state his name for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. I am the Grierson's attorney, Attorney Mac Anderson. I am here to present the late Miss Emily on her behalf. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McAnderson. Will the clerk please swear in the jury?
Your Honor and ladies and gentlemen of the jury. The defendant has been charged with the first-degree murder of Homer Barron. Homer Barron's corpse was found in Emily's house, which the people of Jefferson want to be demolished and used to their benefit. The evidence I will show you will prove it.
Your Honor and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, under the law, my client is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Therefore, and during this trial, you will hear no real evidence that my client, Miss Emily Grierson, murdered Mr. Homer Barron. Therefore, my client is presumed innocent.
Does the prosecution wish to call any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution wishes to call Fred Atkins to the stand.
Please stand. Raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in the case before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
State your name and the occupation for the court, please.
I am Fred Atkins, and I'm the Chief Tax Collector of the Yoknapatawpha County.
I would like to advise the court that our defendant, with his employees, visited Emily's house. So Fred, can you tell us what happened when you visited Emily's house in May 3rd?
After Miss Emily's funeral, I knocked down that dusty old door of hers she kept in lock, and she hid some dark secret in those rooms. I saw Homer's corpse lying on her bed. Oh boy, it was like a nightmare, full of spider webs and grime. First thought I came to my mind that she had the skeleton in her house and she lured in the murder of the boy.
Our case says that Miss Emily's Grierson house, being that's not her property anymore, has to be demolished and used to the people's benefit. That is why one of our witnesses is someone who has been visited that mansion and can provide information as to its why still on this land. Mr. Athens?
Good morning to you, Mr. White. As you all know, I am the Chief Tax Collector of Jefferson, and I knew that her entire life, Emily doesn't even bother to pay her house of her and her loans, and every time she always acted weird whenever my men went to her house. Well, our men always said that Emily shut them out, never opened the door, well, no matter how many times they knocked and rang the bell. Oh well, sooner and later, the stench was too bad for them to bear. Come in.
Chief, I'm telling you, we've tried all that we can except force. She answers to no one.
She asks us if she has seen another human before. We try ringing the bell, knocking the door.
Maybe we shouldn't be knocking on the door, but knocking down the door.
Point is, Chief, we've got to do something.
Alright. I'll be going down there and check it for myself. Greetings, I'm the Chief Tax Collector, Fred Atkins, and I'm here to collect Miss Emily's taxes.
Tobe? Who is it?
Yes, greetings, Miss Emily. I'm the Chief Tax Collector, Fred Atkins, and it's been on my mind that you haven't paid your dues lately. So I'm here to settle with you.
I have no taxes in Jefferson. Good day. Tobe?
Good morning, Judge. I am Claudius Doris. Emily's father and my husband were great friends. Though I did not speak to Emily often, I know that she despised contact with people. She stayed in her house as if going out would kill her. I suppose that the mansion was dear to her family because Mr. Grierson had to beg my husband to exclude them from paying for it to stay.
Oh, it's time to go.
Hey, George.
Sir Torres. Nice
How are
to
you doing, my friend?
Oh, it's been good. It's been good. How about you?
Well, it's nice. Okay, so thank you so much for what you've done to this town, man.
No problem, man. I guess I'm just really generous, huh?
For sure, showing your money to people's faces.
Don't make me laugh. I've lived in this damn town for so long. So many great memories here. We've been here since the beginning. You know how much I love this county.
Well, does it love you?
Shut up, Sir Torres.
But all jokes aside, we, the town, are greatly indebted to you. Because, so what we have done to this town?
Town's indebted to me?
Yeah.
Does that mean I don't have to pay my taxes?
No, my friend.
Wow, thank you so much.
Well, that's it, my friend.
She evaded the paying of her taxes because her father had an agreement with your husband? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Sartor. That is all, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I wish to cross-examine.
Proceed.
You have stated before that Miss George Grierson was the reason behind the evasion of taxes that Emily committed.
Yes.
Why is it that this piece of evidence has only been revealed now and not in the first stage of trial? Is this a desperate attempt to cover up the horrible crimes that the defendant has committed?
Objection! The counsel is mischaracterizing the witness's testimony, Your Honor.
Isn't it true that Mr. Grierson has requested for Colonel Sartoris to excuse Emily of all taxes?
Yes.
Then why is that, as per my witness testimonies, it was Emily's own decision to evade the taxes?
Let me remind you that I am under oath and I swear I am telling the truth.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Miss Wendy, is it not true that Miss Emily has given you and your brother past China painting lessons?
Yes.
And is it not true that Miss Emily has exhibited all of the said behaviors from before?
No. She was kind and quiet to us, and I thought nicely of her.
Yeah, but who would treat a child badly anyway?
In my opinion, Miss Emily tried her best to be happy, but she didn't know how. So I felt bad for her.
Now, Miss Wendy, is it not true that at the time of Mr. Homer Barron's death,
You and your brother Donald Sartoris have stopped going to her China painting lessons.
Yes. Everyone said the house stank, but I think the house stank even before that, because she kept her dead dad inside.
Is that all fair testimony?
Yes.
You may step down.
Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you promise that the testimony you shall give in the case before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do. Good morning, Your Honor. I am Agent Harrison Brooke for the Federal Bureau Agency, and I will be here not just to testify, but to expose the truth to everyone in this courthouse. Is this the house, ladies?
Yes, it is. Oh, just want to remind you, this opening's about to collapse, and mind the dust. I don't want to get even a speck in those new shiny boots, sir.
Understood, ma'am. Now, if I may excuse myself. Agent Harrison Brooke from the Federal Bureau Agency. I order you to open this door. This is Agent Harrison Brooke. I order you to open this door.
My name is Tobe.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to open this door. Open this door.
In what cost?
For justice, sir. For justice.
Morning to you too as well, Mr. Agent Brooke. Now, is it true that at the night of August the 2nd, you went to the property of the Griersons? If so, for what purpose?
Yes, I did go to the great big mansion everyone in this room wants to be done with. Now, as an investigator, I find it absolutely difficult to track someone when they barely even leave their property. Now, I've done everything I was supposed to do, but I had little energy to do the single one left. Tobe, the Grierson family servant, was one of the most difficult cases I've ever had, being that I barely even had anything to obtain information from. I mean no harm, Tobe. I'm just here to do my job. I suppose you'd expect me to scout around the entire house for evidence on Yoknapatawpha versus Grierson. I will. But first, I need to know what you have.
Here. Evidence.
This is a new piece of evidence brought in by our witness today here, Mr. H.S. Harrison. And with this, we will finally prove that the defendant is not guilty.
Well, I am myself convinced that Emily Grierson is an innocent woman. Tobe has read out to me what the chicken scratch means. And what I found was game-changing to the maximum.
And now, Mr. Harrison, would you care to explain the contents of this diary?
But I'm in no place to explicitly describe what the context in the diary is. That's for the current owner to do.
Understood. Now, would you further describe the recordings of the happenings at the Grierson's house when the last time you visited in last August?
Sure. Tobe, please. The lawyer needs you. He needs your testimony. You are the only remaining person who has direct contact with Miss Emily. Even with all of our rigorous investigation and interrogation, we don't even have evidence to defend her. So please, I need you to cooperate with me. Please, just this once.
My name is Tobe. I was an immigrant deep in poverty, a ne'er-do-well. I was starving and cold when the Griersons opened up the doors of their warm home to me. I'm in debt to them. I owe them my life. Now, Miss Emily is one of a kind. She was always referred as odd and different, but she's just unique. She was the nicest to me in that family. Everyone treated me poorly, given the fact that I'm not only an immigrant, but a Negro as well. Everyone shunned me and gave such despising, spiteful looks, and treating me as if my only purpose of existing is to bow down and serve. But Miss Emily, she was really the only one who treated me different. She treated me as a fellow human being, and the best part, she treated me as a friend. You don't know how it feels to be told that you are loved, and not feel and to be told to be grateful or of something she has never had. In a way, Miss Emily is kind of like me, both shunned and mistreated in a way. She grew not knowing a lot of things, grew up like to only behave a certain way, to grow up with a given personality that is entirely not yours. You don't know, none of you do. None of you do. All of you are a lot more privileged than she is in many different ways. And then her father died. Yes, she kept his body. But do you know how traumatized you should be to be so reluctant to change that dead body, your own father's dead body, act or move or anything at all because it's case it had closed your mind. That's how scared she is. I bet none of you even maybe just for a second considered how she must be feeling and how scared she must be. And she had to go on and live with that crazy hug. Old Lady Wyatt, so traumatized by the war that her brain wired
to think she was constantly in the middle of some battlefield, shrieking and screaming in the hallway like crazy, some supposed bombs or gunfires or men trying to kidnap her. Finding her crouched somewhere hiding, saying that someone's out there to get them. Imagine, she only considered her state, her past, her condition, and that Homer Baron guy came and led her to break her heart. And one day, she went to bought some poison, which the druggist gave it to her illegally, without any reasoning, and he even knows that she's about to go and kill herself.
What's the most strongest poison you have?
Come again?
What's the most effective poison you have available?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I would need a specific reason for this purchase for anything else. That's all, ma'am.
I'll have some rat poison.
Here you go.
That bastard let her go away with that poison. How about if she was going to kill herself? Which was she was going to kill herself? She has done nothing wrong. You bastard, you're gonna let her die? She doesn't know what's wrong and what's right. And I'm going to defend her name if it is the last thing I'm going to do. Because I know her. The real Emily Grierson, who I grew up with and played with her from time to time. Laughed with and smiled with the Emily Griersons that I have and only love.
Are you ready with final arguments? The prosecution may now present his final statement and recommendation to the jury.
Your Honor and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the judge told us we must prove three things. First is Homer Baron's corpse. Homer Baron's corpse was found in Emily's house, which is the place he was last seen and which the corpse was seen. Second is the druggist. The druggist, he testified that Emily bought the rat poison from him, which is used to kill Homer Baron. And then the third is Our last, and we must prove that Emily evaded all her taxes under her own influence. Therefore, all we have to prove that the defendant is guilty under her own influence, and that mansion is not her keep anymore. The defendant witnesses admitted that her actions are purely not her influence, and is actually a result of the control that her father, Mr. George Grierson, had over her. According to what the judge told you, that is all we have to prove. Based on the evidence, you must find the defendant guilty.
Your Honor and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant was unlucky to be under a strong emotional and mental influence by the time she committed the crime. But I believe she did not commit a first-degree murder, rather a second-degree murder, as it is wrongful to accuse her of a crime wherein she has and knows no other choice.
To have this case dismissed, the court will take a recess while jury deliberates.
Will everyone please rise?
Please be seated. Who is the per person with the jury?
I am, Your Honor.
Madam per person, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
Please deliver the verdict to the bench for inspection. Will the per person please stand here and read the jury's verdict?
Ladies and gentlemen, we, the jury, find the accused, Emily Grierson, guilty of committing first-degree murder and tax evasion. And we sentence Andrew Hilliger for 10 years in prison for breaking the law, number 5414, refuse a commodity to a customer with no permit.
Defense attorney, what does it mean? Defense attorney, what does it mean?
It means in a way, Emily is lost.